Welcome to the WrestleFam Talk Show. I'm Ron.
I'm Ashley.
We're here to do the AEW Rampage review for August 20th. And let me tell you, 10 out of 10, I give the show. I'm just going to give my rating right away.
It was great. I enjoyed it.
Perfect. Everything about it was perfect. It starts off, of course, with CM Punk.
One of my favorites.
Now, we talked about it last show that we did. I said, I don't see them bringing him out in the first 2 minutes. And then we thought about it. You never know. That was probably smart.
I think it was.
They were going to have CM Punk chants the whole night. He came out. He had all the time in the world. He took some shots at the WWE. He talked about his career a little bit. He thanked the fans. He paid for ice cream tonight. But the big thing coming out of this is he had a little altercation verbally with Darby Allin and Sting, who were up in the rafters. And he pretty much confirmed that he's going to be there for All Out on September 5th against Darby Allin. We're ordering that pay-per-view, no doubt.
I'm ready to see that match. I can't wait.
This has to be the best wrestling roster I've seen in years. I mean, we can go through the years of the 2003 SmackDown. You can think about Ring of Honor in the early 2000s, the early 2010s, TNA in the early 2000s or mid 2000s. This right now, this has to be the best roster ever assembled, and there's more wrestlers on the way that are going to make a big difference.
Yeah, I think so.
They even showed a person crying, a man crying in the crowd, and I don't blame him. I know last review, I was joking around about the fan that was shocked that Chris Jericho had hit a lion salt. But all in all, wrestling brings any emotion out in you. You know, last time I seen a guy cry on there, I can remember the most famous one is the one that when Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth got back together at WrestleMania 7. But people are wanting to see CM Punk, and it was great.
It was a moment.
I felt great. I thought back to the time. There was a time in my period of life where I had the hardest time. Lost the man that raised me. A few weeks later, I'm gone for a year from my family. What's the one thing that I wanted before I had to get on that plane? A CM Punk shirt.
Yep.
Helped me get through that year. And then right when I came back, he retired shortly after. I told Bryce. Bryce came out there and he's like, who is that guy? I go, that is CM Punk. He knows him from just the wrestling game. He's seen some matches of him, but CM Punk looks a little different. Now, of course, I guess to Bryce. But Bryce was only 2 years old when CM Punk stopped wrestling. So he's never seen CM Punk wrestle live. So that's going to be a great moment. Same with Ryder. Ryder was even interested. CM Punk brought that attention to him. It was great. So, great show to start off with. Then, they have Christian talking for Jurassic Express about their match coming up with Private Party. Christian did a great job. Intense, focused, mentioning Kenny Omega. He's there for the Jurassic Express. Perfect matchup. Putting Christian with the Jurassic Express. The less Jungle Boy talks, the better, just from his character. Not to say that he can't talk, just from the character, being a Jungle Boy. Luchasaurus, he does have that degree. He is the smart dinosaur. But let him have that monster look. Less talk from him. And, of course, Marco Stunt playing the part as the underdog. So Christian being in there, talking for them was perfect. Then we get to the match. I'm blown away. One of the best tag team matches I've ever seen. Now, last review, I brought up the whole issue about they do a big move, they pop back up. They did everything flawlessly. At one time, I jumped up out of my seat when Isaiah Cassidy hit the Canadian Destroyer. Now, it's a move that I talked about everybody does it. Off the shoulders of Luchasaurus onto Jungle Boy. Perfection. Devastating. However, Luchasaurus broke up the pin. Jungle Boy didn't kick out of it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when they hit these big moves and people just kick out of it. It just kind of like, great. The interruption was perfect. Outside moves, the injury showing the pain on their face, flying through the ropes. Isaiah Cassidy was doing a great job showing that emotion. Moves on the outside. They barely connected. Luchasaurus and I believe it was Isaiah Cassidy, or no, it was Mark Quinn, kind of grazed Luchasaurus, but the announcers talked about it, and Luchasaurus kind of got up before. I want to say it was Mark Quinn. I could be wrong. It could have been Isaiah Cassidy. I can't remember at this moment. But either way, both of them having a hard time getting up from the move. Luchasaurus got up first. I like that. Since the private party member didn't connect fully and took more of the hit. That's what I'm saying. Even if you mess up a move, let's say they messed that up, whoever hits hardest should be the last one to get up.
Yeah.
You're falling, even though you're performing the move. You're falling. It was great. I was like, oh, that's what I was talking about last review, and they did it perfectly. And then the finish of the match, Matt Hardy interfering, the thing with Marco Stunt interfering, perfection. I mean, great match. Nothing to complain about. They carry on the storyline. They had the Young Bucks come out during the match and sit there in their chairs and applaud and that. Great. The show's rolling. Everything's perfect so far. Well, how about you, Ashley?
I thought it was a great, great, great match. It was awesome. The moves were amazing. I didn't see anything wrong. I fully saw what you were talking about with the not kicking out. So it was really great.
Yeah, I was really happy with it. Then I believe it was the Kenny Omega interview, looking slick, looking like a champion, looked like $1,000,000. I was so jealous of the suit and the glasses that I talked about before that I want to be like that. Perfect. He was disappointed that Jurassic Express had won. Talked about Christian. It was short. It was sweet, right to the point. Perfect. Then we get Jade Cargill. Now we looked at the time. The time was flying by. It was 7:40, or no, I'm sorry.
7:42.
Well, it wasn't 7. Oh. What time was it here? It was 9:42. I go, they gotta get 2 matches in here. Now we suspected the Jade Cargill match was going to be a quick one, and it was. She came out. They gave her time for an interview prior to the match. They gave Kiera Hogan time. And it was a great match. It was a short showcase of Jade Cargill on a big stage.
It was great.
Then we get Mark Henry doing the split screen with Daniel Garcia in 2.0 and Jon Moxley on the other side. They had a short period of time to talk, but it was great. We had a Tanya Harding mention of Daniel Garcia hitting Jon Moxley with the pipe on Dynamite. We had Jon Moxley say that Daniel Garcia has a better chance of getting him pregnant than beating him tonight. So that was a shocker. I've never heard that before. So that was thrown out. It was crazy. So it was funny. Yeah, it was funny. We were both laughing. Then we get to the match. And I thought it made Daniel Garcia look really good.
Yeah, it was great. I actually thought it was really good for him.
Yeah, he's been on a winning streak. They've been showcasing him on Elevation, on Dark, the YouTube shows they have. He's been picking up wins. He just picked up a win over Matt Seidel. He referred to that in his interview. The match was Jon Moxley being a brawler and it being negated by the technique, the submission holds, the submission attempts, the pure wrestling, if you want to call that, from Daniel Garcia. It was perfect, which led to the reversal of what would have looked like a Scorpion Deathlock, but then turned into an ankle lock bridge. And then Jon Moxley locks in the Bulldog choke and tap. It was a perfect, smooth transition. I knew you were excited because we knew that match ended 2.0, then gets into the ring. So 2.0 enters the ring. They start beating John Moxley down. Eddie Kingston, who's there in John Moxley's corner, enters. The number game takes control. It's 3-on-2. All of a sudden, Darby Allin and Sting hit the ring. Darby Allin goes for Daniel Garcia, and that leaves 2.0 with Sting. And the enjoyment that they get from getting beat up by Sting. So a lot of the big moves hit. Sting dropping 2.0. There was a great looking DDT from John Moxley, putting him away. A lot of air from Daniel Garcia on that one.
Yeah.
The paradigm shift. And then you have Sting dropping Jeff Parker, the Scorpion Death Drop. You had a double Stinger splash in the corner on 2.0. Darby Allin on Matt Lee runs into the corner, smashes him, and then ends it with the coffin drop on both 2.0. And then they celebrate the end. I'm going to let you know, this was the best show. It was only an hour, but the best show I've seen of AEW so far. Not to say they haven't had great shows before.
Yeah.
But I went, if this Daniel Garcia and John Moxley match goes great, and it did, there's no better you can do within an hour on a wrestling show.
Now it kept my attention the whole hour.
Yeah, I hope they got a good rating. I hope a lot of people watch this. There might have been a lot of people that this was their first show of AEW watching, and they knocked it out of the park. No complaints. No complaints here. Enjoyed the show tremendously. They announced a few more matches. Well, they recapped what Dynamite was. I didn't see any new matches for Dynamite that we had already reviewed. The only big thing is the tag team tournament. The finals is going to be for next week's Rampage. So Lucha Brothers and Varsity Blondes are on Dynamite coming up Wednesday, and the winner will face Jurassic Express on next week's Rampage. Have anything else to add, Ashley?
No, it was a great show. I'm excited to see what happens next for Dynamite and the next Rampage.
Yeah, CM Punk's going to be there on Dynamite.
Oh, gosh, this is going to be awesome.
So,
I missed him.
Yeah, glad he's back. AEW's on fire right now. I haven't been this excited about wrestling in over 20 years. So, well, thank you for listening to us. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.